Assalamu alaikum. Hope you're doing well. So today we continue our talk concerning designing lesson plans, and today I want just really to show you kind of a practical example of how, for example, for me, how I'm going to design a lesson. And of course, this is a typical lesson. How it goes inside your classroom can really differ. That depends on the your type of learners, of course, also their level, the way you interact with your learner. All these variables really contribute to the success of your lesson. So you have really to mind these aspects when we talk about this. So what are we going to talk about in this lesson? Of course, we talked about cross-curricular competencies. These are usually common. So we have sequence. Now, let's say, for example, we are going to work with sequence one, and we talk about, let's say, for example, this sequence is me and my family, so it's basic. Maybe it can be for primary students or can be also for middle school. So we have lesson one, it could be lesson one, or it could be just maybe the lesson two or three. It depends on you. So this lesson is going to be listen and speak. So we'll focus on two skills. The skill number one is listening, of course. Then by the end of the lesson, your learners should be able to speak. Now, of course, it's going to be PDP, so it's kind of pre, during, and post. So this is so important, and listen and speak. Now, concerning the objective, by the end of this session, learners will be able to introduce themselves. So this is what this is the objective of this sequence, or sorry, of this lesson. And concerning the vocabulary that I'm aiming here is your name, is the name, the age, and the country. And concerning the structure or the language structure here, we are focusing on the present simple, of course, of I am, he is, etc. I live, so my country is. So this is what we are focusing on in terms of language structure. Now, materials here, this lesson is requires really video projector or a speaker. If you don't have a video projector and you want just to use an audio kind of audio device, maybe your phone, just to make your learners listen, this also can work, but also you need flashcards because they are going to help you in the warm-up. And in fact, and this is maybe something bad concerning English, we really need video projectors. It's like the least thing we should bring to our classroom. Alhamdulillah, even when I was teaching in 2015 to 2019, I always had one because it was a kind of a requirement. Even the ministry talked about it, so we had to use it. And in fact, it's really beneficial. Now let's talk about what are we supposed to do in this lesson. So in the warm-up, and the warm-up is very, very important because it's going to engage your learners with the lesson, and it's really important step. So in the warm-up, what I wanted to do, because in this lesson I have some complicated vocabulary in terms of the countries, and maybe my learners, they will have some problems with the countries. And for example, because when it comes to the name and an age, they are so simple. But when it comes to the country, maybe I need to kind of introduce him to new vocabulary. So what I did, I designed an activity, and with this activity, I wanted first to be interactive. So I really want them all to work together. So in this activity, is simply I'm going to present them with flags, and I'm going to present them with choices, and they are going to answer. Now, what I really want you to, as a teacher, I want you to engage the whole classroom with this. So don't ask just individual learners to answer, but for example, you can present them the work, and you ask them like to choose the answer, to write them in the little boards, and they raise their boards, and you kind of see who made like the right choice or not. And of course, also, as you can see here, you try to inject the vocabulary you want. Let's say, for example, Tunisia, Algeria, Canada. And also, in the same time, you want to make this task a bit simple, as if, for example, when it comes to the choices, you see that, for example, when it comes to the choice here, I just gave them, for example, Tunisia, Algeria, Canada, and then I have asked them for another one, which is, you will see here, we have Tunisia, Algeria, Canada. So it's not Algeria because it's simple. It's that clear. So it is Canada. So you kind of make the activity super simple to them. And here, so because they feel confident when interacting with you, and this is so important when it comes to the warm-up. You want the whole class to engage with you, even you feel if it is super noisy. Actually, that noise is really good for you because it means that your all learners are with you, are really focusing on the task at hand. So we have Japan, maybe because our students today, our learners really watch a lot of cartoons, so maybe they can find it. And also because this flag also is in the video that I'm going to present. So with this activity, you can use a video projector and it's going to be simple, easy. I have designed this and it's so easy. You can do it yourself just by using PowerPoint. So it won't be it won't be a problem to you. Now let's go to the pre-listening. The pre-listening, what I wanted to do, the teacher draws a table and calls one learner, tries to help learners understand what they are required to fill in the table. You see, one of the problem that I want them to do a task, but because maybe my learners are not still familiar with the task, I want to do one example before they listen and start doing the real task. So I present a table and I try to explain to them a name, age, country. You don't even need to explain, just ask for one student to come and say, for example, okay, his name, or just try to show to indicate it. So they write it down and they write their age and they write the country. So by here you can move to the next stage, which is during listening. During listening, it helps if it is a group work because I really like to work in group work. Even if I have 10 groups, I don't mind them because it usually makes my job easier. So the teacher draws three tables. This is according to the video presented. So if you have in the video like 5 persons presenting themselves, you need like five tables. So, and you ask your learners to fill in the table. In this video, so if I'm right, I will write these tables on the board and I will ask my learners also to write them on the copybooks and they start listing. And there is no harm if you are going to repeat the video once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Just don't be hasty. Allow your learners time for them really to listen. And here why I said teachers, when you design such activities, you are just going to relax. You are going just to assess your learners far and you see the groups on how everything is going. So during listening, this is also group work. So we are going to present. This video is from YouTube and I took it, and actually it's really good because it contains all the elements. It has so many pupils introducing themselves, and there are so many flags here. So you can use this video, and of course, if you use this video and your learners are going to listen, it's going to really to be a fun activity for them, and this is something super, super important. Now let's talk about the post-listening because we did during the pre-listening, during listening, now the post-listening also supposed to be group work. What are we supposed to do? Now you are asked to check the answers of your learners. Either, for example, each group are going to present their work to you, or you go to each group and check their work. So this is what's going to happen. Now, this is the most important one. Now, learners are asked to fill in a table using their own information. Now, we want them to produce. We want them to produce something. The production, we are going to use the same table, and every student is going to use their information. And now, this is the important step. After they heard like a lot of examples, they did drills without even realizing that they are supposed to use their own information and to speak in front of the class. I think this can be done in 1 hour if it's really designed well. It can take even more, but you can squeeze it in 1 hour or 1 hour and a half. It depends on you. And I really think that is going to be super fun in the classroom, and your learners are going to benefit from this lesson. Please, as I said, this is a typical example. How it goes, it all depends on you and your interaction in the class. Yes, it's the downside. It requires a video projector. I don't think that a teacher simply cannot work without it in a classroom. So thank you so much. Stay tuned for other videos. Please follow, subscribe, and YouTube channel. Goodbye.